It's Sunday, November 23rd, 2025. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody's doing good. A few things to talk about this evening. So much happening. Who knows what will take place this week, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news. Behind me is another building to the property, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. We may use it as another residence and just build it out, or put a gym in there, put some mats down, all the equipment, all that. Not sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll figure that out in 2026. But I'll take you along, for the journey as I'm out here in Alabama, just kind of, putting the property back together and making it the way we want to make it. But, it's interesting. Somebody yesterday said in the comments, boy, your house looks scary. It's probably haunted, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was kind of interesting because having a white dove here for 5 days, to me was such a positive spiritual sign, but I've never slept so good. And this property exudes life. There's birds, lizards, gators, coyotes, turkeys, deer, you name it. Everything is just prospering out here. The hawks, the osprey with the falcons, whatever they are, you're diving into the water for fish. On top of that, all the turtles, all the fish, absolutely incredible place. It's filled with life. And this is why it was so important for me to find a property with a pond, because the water brings life, brings all the animals here. And, to that person, I would never live in a haunted house because I believe in God, Jesus Christ, and I cleanse those things. I have full authority over those things, and there's absolutely nothing haunted going on here. It's all positive energy. It's all about God. But again, this is it's so private, so peaceful, so much life here. It's so relaxing. I cannot say enough about this property. And just having all the green, all the trees, it's just life. But there's, always people out there that have to find something negative. And look, I thank them for tuning in. Some of the most negative people out there, some of my most dedicated, loyal followers. So I appreciate that. But this thing is far from haunted. This house has been blessed by God, Jesus Christ. And I thank him for that. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. But anyways, a couple articles I want to share with all of you, and I hope you're all walking close to God, because that is the number one asset on planet Earth. This is going to be short-lived. Know where you're going. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly no choir boy. I'm no angel. Don't profess to be, but I'm doing my best every day to lead a better life, to be a better example, to walk closer with God, and to listen to him. And we all better be listening, because if we're not, you're going to be in trouble. MSM, 7 parts of the U.S. economy that are already in recession. Interesting, residential housing, employment in this sector is hitting the skids as these new homes that are being built aren't selling like they used to. So we have a lot of unsold homes. Also in the existing home market, also unsold. But a lot of people that build these homes aren't working. Real estate agents who sell homes, new and existing, they're not selling anything. So they're having to go work at Starbucks, they're having to bartend, work at the nail salon, whatever, if they can find a job at this point. But this market, this sector to get a job in right now, housing, horrible, really bad. And we're going to see more weakness in the construction of housing. Number 2, commercial real estate. Investment in structures for business has been declining for at least 6 quarters. And of course, most of us know that we've been in a commercial real estate apocalypse for many, many years now. And we're going to come to the end of this road at some point. And when we do, this is going to absolutely annihilate, I think, a lot of banks in this country, especially regional banks. Number 3, restaurants, slower sales, weaker profits. Many restaurants are overstaffed. We're going to see more continued layoffs, and we're going to see more closures. This is, all just verifying what we've known for quite a while. 4, government. State and local governments are facing pressures as they exhaust healthcare crisis funding. More job losses coming. Think about how much of this economy is functioning right now just because of money printing and government handouts, and basically the government just keeping everything propped up. Think about how much right now of this economy is an illusion, that if the government wasn't basically financing the stock market and the economy, where would it all be right now? The economy could not stand on its own 2 feet, in my opinion. Neither could the stock market without the Fed propping it up, buying stocks, buying bonds, stimulus checks, benefit check, unemployment benefit checks, all of this stuff. And now we're talking about doing it all over again. 5, freight. Not as many goods are moving across America. So that means less truck drivers are driving trucks. That means some independent drivers are losing their trucks. We're seeing more freight companies filing bankruptcy, closing down, going out of business, and it's going to get worse. And we're seeing it now in November, and Christmas is right around the corner. 6, mining. Crude oil prices are below the level needed to profitably invest in new drilling wells. So energy companies are unlikely to hire new staff in this area. So it just seems like literally every sector, except for the repo man, he's really busy. If you want to make money, but you're going to take your life in your own hands, probably the repo business right now. 7, higher education, universities cutting staff. Budgets are shrinking, and we're seeing declining enrollments. Well, maybe they should lower their price. What they're charging for a worthless degree, what do you think is going to happen? I think some of these universities should go out of business. They should go bye-bye. Again, it's another propped up illusion where people are borrowing massive amounts of money to get a worthless degree, and now they've become debt slaves and they can't find a job. College grads face one of the toughest job markets in a decade. Right now is really difficult time to find a job, expert says. This on CNBC. If you're a college grad, you're competing against a really bad economy, you're competing against inflation, and you're competing against millions of people that are here from other countries that are looking for jobs. And you're going to have to compete against them. And if you can't find a job, you went and got an $80,000 degree in basket weaving, and you can't find a job in basket weaving to pay you, then guess what? You're going to have to go get a job in leisure and hospitality, maybe in the health field. And guess who you're going to be competing against? You're going to be competing against millions of people from other countries for these same low-wage, part-time jobs. It's a disaster. What are these grads going to do? Especially with these worthless degrees, massive amounts of debt and no job. What are they going to do? How are they going to contribute to society? How are they going to contribute to the economy? It just does not look good. Here's another one today, Fox Business. New car prices soar to historic high as buyers face mounting sticker shock. So basically a new car now is about $50,000. Average monthly payment for a new car, $766 a month. They break it down. If you buy a car, say you buy a $50,000 car, you put 7 down, you finance $43,000 at 72 months at 7%, that's the average. You're going to pay close to $10,000 in interest on that car. But what if you finance it for 84 months? What if you finance it for 15 years? You're going to pay a lot more. This whole thing is a complete and utter disaster. And people out there continue. They're going to the baseball games, the football games. They're going to Vegas. They're taking their vacations. They don't believe what is really happening and what is going to happen. They just believe somehow it's going to get fixed by the people who have created this mess. The same people are going to be able to fix it. And so they're going to continue to go on with their life, doom spend, continue with the party. As the Titanic sinks, the music's playing, these people will continue just purposely ignoring and denying what is going on. Car repossessions expected to hit their highest rate since the 2009 recession. Is it a sign the economy is in trouble? You tell me. So they're estimating, forecasting roughly 3 million cars to be repossessed this year. I believe it will be more than that. And they're asking, and this is on MoneyWise, is the economy in trouble? Well, of course it's in trouble. It's been in trouble since at least the great financial crisis. 3 million cars repossessed. We had nearly 3 million last year repossessed. We're going to do 3 million plus this year. That's nearly 6 million cars repossessed in 2 years. And then I'm reading to you the average new car is $50,000 and the average car payment is $766. And then you hope that your car's not recalled. Every day there's another recall with another automaker. So you're paying 50 grand for a car, and more than likely you're going to get a recall. So you're paying more, you're getting less quality, you're getting recalls, less durability. These cars are not going to last 8 years. Most of them are going to fall apart. Even Toyota has slipped a bit, and Lexus has slipped a bit. And hopefully they turn that around, because I'm big fans of Toyota and Lexus. But it just seems like everybody's trying to cut out quality while they raise prices. And I don't see how all this is sustainable. People paying, and don't forget, 20% of people buying new cars, their payment is $1,000 plus a month. All of this debt, all these payments, job losses, how is this sustainable? How can this continue to go on before it doesn't? But the repo man, he's busy. He's busy. Here's one today. California loses 1 taxpayer per minute, Florida gains. So we lose taxpayers in California. Who's moving to California? Probably a lot of people who probably aren't from America. But I don't know who would move to California at this point. I mean, if you're living in Newport Beach, Corona del Mar, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, those are nice areas. But once you leave those areas, you know, you're back into a hellhole. I'm sure that you know, if you live in, well, I mean, if you live in Malibu, that's a disaster now. Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, all disasters. So, I mean, I guess if you live in a nice gated community somewhere in LA County, maybe, you know, Bel Air Estates, parts of Beverly Hills, but there's tents all over the place there too now. Once you drive a mile from your house, you're seeing encampments, major crime, and you're taking your life in your own hands. And you're dealing with massive amounts of traffic. So I don't know who would want to move to California, but I guess, you know, people in their own little bubbles in their gated communities. You know, Newport Coast, nice area, but you know, at some point you have to leave the gated community, and you're dealing with the traffic, the homeless, the crime, and all of that. So I don't know. I think California is going to be in big trouble at some point. California has a lot of debt. They got big bills. They've got big problems. And I think more businesses and more taxpayers are going to continue to leave California as they vote with their wallets. And people are just going to start looking out for their families. And they're sitting down at the dinner table tonight, and they're talking about the same thing I talked about a few years ago with my family. It's time to bounce. It's time to get out. And more people are having that conversation now more than ever. And it's going to get more difficult to escape, because you have to sell your house. And at these prices, or if you bought with a low mortgage rate, it's harder to get out. And who's going to buy that house now? Who really wants to move to California? I guess there are some people. Comment down below. Would you move to the state of California? Are you in California? Will you stay? Will you reside in California? If you really believe things are going to get bad, if you really are preparing and you have the ability to get out of California, why would you stay? I get it. Some people don't have the ability to get out. But if you have the ability to get out of California and you know what's going on, why would you stay in California? How many of you are going to get out of California? How many of you are talking right now with your families, pondering it, thinking about getting out, making a plan? Let me know. Really curious about that. Severe internet outages keep happening, and they might get worse. This on NBC. Are you prepared? We report this, I think, every week now with an outage. And this is getting more and more concerning because at some point it's going to affect a lot of people, and it's not going to just last a couple hours. It's not going to last a half a day or a day. It's going to begin to last days, weeks. And when people can't do transactions, when people freak out because they can't get their money out of the bank, or they can't make payroll, or they can't buy something, or they can't go to the grocery store and pay for something because the internet is not working, and all of a sudden chaos breaks out, then what? Then what? This is why I'm here. And I know a lot of people still believe nothing like that could ever happen, but wow, where have you been the last couple of years? Have you been watching what has been happening across the world in the last few years? And yet people still believe that it's not going to affect them, that nothing bad will happen to them. I just continue to watch what's happening in our cities. I see the lawlessness. We got people torching people on subways. And you think that this stuff is make-believe, and you think that you shouldn't be preparing. Hey, you don't have to prepare. Don't come to my house. There is a small group of people invited to my house. Don't show up here. You're definitely not invited. And that's something we're going to have to address. I'm going to have Jacob back on the show, and we're going to address that, because there's always those people that go, I'm coming to your house, JB, or I'm coming, you know it. People say they're coming to your house because, you've been training, you've been preparing. And even though you don't even tell people you are, they know you are. They know that you're that type of person that if something goes down, they're going to turn to you for help because you're a stronger person. And they know that. And so if the internet goes down, the grid goes down, they're coming to your house. And the question is, what are you going to do when they come to your house? And we will address that again on another show, maybe within the next week or two, because I think you have to be ready for that. And I think a lot of you have already thought about that, but think about it right now. What would you do if people start coming to your house, if the internet goes down, the grid goes down, and they're hungry, their kids are hungry, they're scared, they don't know what to do, and they want to come to your house, eat your calories, drink your water, have you keep them safe, feed their kids, while you warn them for years to get their act together and prepare. And what did they do? They did absolutely nothing. New Senate bill demands full audit of U.S. gold reserves, additional refinement to meet global standards. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. My advice is audit your own gold reserves, acquire your own gold, be your own central bank, be your own Fort Knox, and audit your own gold and silver and know exactly what you have. Forget about Fort Knox. Even if they did audit it, we're never going to get the truth. We're never really going to know. Everybody should be their own Fort Knox at this point. I have no faith in the system whatsoever. Get your own gold. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God. If you need some gold and silver, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Get some gold, get some silver if you need it. I will close with this last article from The Hedge. Chicago's revolving door of doom. 72 prior arrests revealed for the train torture. That just happened last week. The dude that torched that young lady. By the way, I think her dad was like a pastor or something. Skinny little girl. And she's on the transit system in Chicago. And just minding her own business. And this guy, this demon, walks up, douses her with a flammable liquid, and torches her. 72 prior arrests. And this guy is out walking around on the streets of America in Chicago. Your thoughts? This is absolutely unacceptable. So we got people with basically no driver's licenses, no commercial driver's licenses, driving 80,000-pound semis across America. And people are just getting mowed over. Nobody looking out for Americans. And then we have people on subways torching young women on subways for absolutely no reason. And they have 72 prior arrests. And they're walking on the streets of America. This is what you're dealing with right now in the good times. Why is the system not protecting its people? Why is the system not protecting law-abiding citizens who pay taxes, who go to work, who should feel safe when they ride on a bus or a train or walk down the street. I mean, it's one thing to get pickpocketed, it's one thing to get mugged, but for a young lady to be sitting on a train, to be doused with a flammable liquid and then torched, I don't think it gets more demonic than that. We are no doubt in very, very spiritual times, spiritual warfare. And whether you're a believer or not, I can't see how you can't be when you see this type of evil. This is purely evil. Evil exists. If evil exists, good exists. If there's a devil, there's God. This is purely demonic. People like this should not be walking the streets of America. And there's a place in hell for people like this that do things like this to people. There's people that do things like this to animals. There's a place in hell for people like this. And they will get justice at some point. They will get justice. God will make sure of that. But in the meantime, you got to be exercising situational awareness. You got to really be aware of where you're putting yourself or where you're putting your family. And you got to be ready for chaos. You got to be ready for chaos. You got to be ready to deal with it. And you're going to have to figure that out. How do you deal with chaos? If you do not train, if you do not have training, you will resort back to your training. And that means you are guaranteed to lose. You don't even stand a chance. So get yourself some training, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I will leave it there this evening. God bless every one of you. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. Look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. We'll see what the fake markets do tomorrow. We'll see what gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil, all that stuff does tomorrow. It will be very, very interesting. A lot happening. I think we're going to finish up 2025 with more events, but hold on tight for 26. That's the year that I think we're going to see things absolutely break apart. So be ready. God bless. Take care.